night bird sings. Spirit calls to open hearts. Love's light is shining, yeah. And we go peacefully into that night. As the night bird sings, we call to Grandmother Moon. Show me the way home. Show me the way into the arms of my love. Show me home into the light of spirit. Love's light is shining. That's a haiku for this week, for our reading of the Oracle, the Ching. The book of changes, the book of answers comes to us. As we listen for the words, and as we disentangle the words so that they come into us to have meaning, to find love, to find peace of mind, to find connection. The Ching is in 64 sections, 64 answers, 64 hexagrams, 64 quad. 3,000 years old, 5,000 years old, maybe more. And the wisdom remains the same as I've used it in my life and was given the assignment to do this translation, this interpretation, so we can weave it into our lives, as has been done for all those years. And this week it's number 25, Wu Wang, disentangling. Wow, just in that name tells us. Wu Wang, above is heaven and below is thunder. What a combination. And the wisdom that speaks to us is disturbance is coming from outside your influence. Be diligent. Disentangle yourself. Disentangle your actions. Demonic forces can feed on ignorance. Become informed and act swiftly. Don't be afraid. We talk about demonic forces. You know, it's yin, it's yang, it's black, it's white. It's up, it's down. Without up, there is no down. The same thing. Without black, there is no white. Without white, there is no black. So we say that if you stay in ignorance, you're open to the forces of the demons. And we all have our demons. And we got to look at our demons, you know. Not as scary as you might think, because we can deal with it. Pay attention to the ancients. Look into the work that we do as we come into the place of believing, the place of loving, the place of finding peace of mind. So we come into the text, the words of advice, the words of wisdom. Look into all your associations. It's not without work. Now I got to talk about that. You know, we get information, but you got to know the information just doesn't go and bounce off you or go in one ear and out the other or go in your ear and just stay there. It calls us to task, to work, capital W, nothing better than work. Look into all of your associations. See where you've given up your power to others or have compromised when the benefit would have been to stand firm. This is a partial cause of the disturbance in focus, form, and intention that may be traveling through your field of energy. Metaphorically, and in some cases in a reality, you've had difficulty finding a comfortable place, or a comfortable way to sit, or a comfortable way to stand, a comfortable way to sleep. You've been fidgeting in place. It's been a long time. The foot bouncing, tapping your finger, whatever it is. You've been fidgeting in place for so long, it's become tiresome and sometimes shameful. Your thought processes and your actions have been clouded by your desire for a successful outcome. We can go pretty well into the old saw that says, it's about the road. It's not about the goal. So we come for a successful outcome as we walk on the road less traveled. If you do look for a successful outcome, you'll be futurizing. And if you futurize, you're going to overthink your situation. And if you overthink, you miss it. You wouldn't be living in the present, because that's what it's about now. It's about being here, where you are, where your feet are right now. It's about being here, allowing yourself to be here. Because look, we are talking about disentangling, right? Your thought process and actions have been clouded by your desire, right? Desire is not bad, but we got to look at what it is and keep our desire out of the future. We get into our desire, what we want, what we need, what will work for us now, in the now. By focusing solely on correctness, fame, position, recognition, outcomes of any sort, you're missing the point. It's not that you cannot have all these things, you can. And with attention to movement with and for the greater good, you will. What is problematic is your ego's projection into the future. If you go to that one, it's going to prevent you from going into your initiative and your intuitive clarity. And you'll miss your success. That sometimes that sign that somebody makes when they don't understand it, they wave their hand over their head and say, wow, that one went right by. You can't let that happen now. You got to be there. See, your call now is to be spontaneous for sure, move with absolute confidence in who you are and what you desire, and do not, my dear friends, do not give yourself up. Don't change. Be who you are, you see, because the beneficial action now is to disentangle, to release. Any ties that have bound you to your past influences have got to be let go. You got to let go of your old ways of thinking, your old ways of action. And it's true, you can change these things simply by your thinking, right? And when you start to think differently, it's going to make a lot of sense. You see, the trickster, that coyote, that aspect of the ego, that would have you look into the future and see the titillating, grand, and shiny things that represent success. Whatever it is, place, money, people, whatever it is. When you think you've figured out the smartest and you think you've got the most clever and cool way to move forward, your goal with arrogance like this will lead to a disastrous outcome, and that is guaranteed. There is no doubt about it. The ego will take you off course and tempt you to move swiftly towards this desired income. Come hell or high water, man, it doesn't work that way. The words sound like you can do it, but you don't want to get it that way. Number one, it's not going to last, and it's for sure going to be a toxic pattern that you bring in. So we're talking about looking at the old patterns that have gotten in the way, and don't just let them go. Place a new pattern of what you want, right? New pattern that works for you. And you can do it because it's all up to you and it's all in your thinking. If you were to continue to move in the manner of disregarding the influences around you going towards the ego's light, your spirit helpers, these bringers of strength, these bringers of innocence, your creative sources, they'd be locked away. You wouldn't get to them. Be cautious not to lose the part of you that is the child of innocence. Don't lose your innocence. At this time, it will be your saving grace. Consider the ignored part of your being, your inner and sweet child of innocence, that place in you that loves to dance, that loves love, that loves to create and loves to be present. So slow down. Don't be afraid that you're not going to get it. You are going to get it. But if you act out of fear, you're going to scare yourself. And you're going to turn your back and you're going to think there's monsters coming, man. That's why they talk about the demonic forces. Fear would have you look into the future and trying to plan for every contingency, you know. Now, the universe, it responds to a plan. But, man, make sure that you're in the place that you can allow it to come in, and it could be. If you were to go into that place of figuring out the future down to the really minutest point, it just sap your energy. It'll prevent you from receiving the love and the abundance that awaits you. It's wise to plan and to be thoughtful, but limit your thoughts. Right? Limit your thoughts. Limit your plans to the present. And as you're doing this, you're going to make your journey truthful, peaceful, efficient, and for sure, more joyful. Your balance along this path of being of service to others, of service to Gaia, of service to our mother, our earth, our oceans, our deserts, our mountains, our plains, to all of her sentient beings. This will allow you to handle whatever surprising events come your way, and they will come. And you can have a focused clarity that will enable you to act spontaneously and creatively to embrace the moment. You see, the magic is in the moment. The literal translation of the I Ching, this hexagram, it's defined as being free of forethought and reflection. All right, so just dig that for a minute. Being free of forethought and reflection. It's good to remember. If you do, it'll keep you in the present as you look neither to the past, or to the future. It tells us to be here now. I got to remember that. To be here now. In meditation, we hear the chants of the monks from the mountaintops in Tibet. It makes us to be here now. As we listen, it fills us with light and fills us with love. When you're moving toward a goal that will serve for the greater good, this is where you're going to be, in the place of light, in the place of love. And when you're moving toward the greater good, whether it's in business, family, community, tribe, relationships, your health, your journey towards enlightenment, it's important to be clear, to be dignified, to be simple, while being fully present and being fully in the moment. Live in the moment. This is not only the way to become unbound, this is the way to walk further with your like-minded souls, walking with like-minded people, your fellow pilgrims. And move away from those who would suck your energy by raising doubts, raising fears, or they have envy for who you are. That takes us to the place of remembering, of being in the light and being in love and opening to the place that means that we are there, that we are home. We are there, we are home. And that's what the idea is for right now. To be home and to be on time as we move forward, as we heal ourselves and the ability to make ourselves whole. The ego, the critic, that inner judge will try to sneak in while you're traveling on the path and tell you that you need to be reasonable. You got to be clever. You got to be suspicious. And above all, you got to look good to others' eyes. Oh, man, that's a trap. You see, it would have you create imaginary problems that would cause you to incorrectly evaluate the situation before you. And it's only fantasy, not focus. The crux of the idea behind this hexagram is to remain aware and fully present. That's what it's all about. Consciously let go of trying to get approval from others, whether it's people you work with, whether it's the public, whether it's those that you walk with, those that see you. You see, when that happens, when you're trying to get approval, that's the ego trying to interfere and keep you from fully appreciating the beauty and the gifts of life. You got to slow down. Allow that inner child, that innocence, to appreciate the beauty all around you. And there will emerge a strength that you have not really known before. If you have known it, it will come in a stronger way. It'll be a strength wrought not from pain or angst, but from peace and laughter and joy. And that's what we're talking about. Take note, brothers and sisters, that by combining your journey with rest and with fun in proper measure and balance, you will keep a clear mind. And you'll be ready to handle the good. You'll be ready to handle the bad and the ugly with equanimity and joy. So remember that, yeah, hard times are stressful, but so are good times, you see. That's why we got to keep things in balance and take care of ourselves and not get lost in that idea of success. We're better than. We want to have more. We got to be more, because that's not what it's about. That's not what the oracle speaks to us about. You see, this journey, it's not as treacherous as you might sometimes think. Listen to your intuition, which has been revealed magically when you respect the importance of rest, of meditation, and of play. In this way, you show the ultimate respect, the ultimate honor to yourself and to your teachers, where you gain merit. Be your authentic self, and we hear that so much, but it's so true. Come into your authenticity and don't let this idea of more or success change you, or I gotta look good, or I gotta attract this, I gotta attract that. Let that go. Be in yourself. Be home. And that's what disentanglement is about. It's about just taking all the, how the Christmas lights can get all tangled up and they're so hard to separate. That's what it's about. So just be calm, go slow, untangle it knot by knot. Because the wisdom says disturbance from outside your influence is there. So be diligent. Disentangle yourself and your actions. Don't let these forces feed on ignorance as you become informed and you act swiftly. That's the Ching for this week. I'm happy to say, those of you that are here in Tulum, I've again begun my weekly classes here. My classes are to support a charity called Comida para los Entes, which is food for the people, which is important right now. difficult times. So if you're anywhere nearby, please come every Wednesday. And you'll find it on my website. You'll find out where to be. So be who you are, not who people want you to be. You got that? That just applies to all of us. We can slip out of it so easy. Well, I'm feeling a lot of love, and I send you all the love that I can possibly muster here as I come to this place of being into a place of feeling the love from the divine source of light and of energy. Blessings, y'all. In Lakesha Lakin, I am the other you. And you know I like it that way. Yes, I do. Be the love that you desire and teach peace with every word, with every step. As you are peaceful, so will the world be as we meditate, as we come into that place of open heart, as we feel the changes going on our planet Earth and we get ready for those changes. These words of Ching will guide us, keep us there and keep us grounded. And I'll say it again. In Lakesha Lakin, I am the other you.